It's a hoax. The impeachment thing is a hoax. It's turned out to be a hoax. It's done for purely political gain. They're going to see whether or not they can do something in 2020, because otherwise they're going to lose. It's turning out, and you see it better than anybody. I read something in your paper the other day that it's having a reverse effect, which some people thought it might have. I didn't know. But I can tell you that districts where I won, and then they had an election in between mine, but they had an election and other people got in, Democrats got in, those districts are leaning very big toward me. Now, I wasn't in the race in 2018, so it's not really the same thing. And a lot of my voters say they're not going to vote unless Trump is actually in the race. But it's really having a tremendous impact on, and a lot of Democrats I hear are very upset. They just got back from their district, and I hear they're very upset. The impeachment witch hunt, it's really just a continuation of the hoax that's been taking place for the last 3 years, and I think you know that.
And does it cast a cloud, though, if you're trying to negotiate on behalf of the
I would say this. I think it's very unpatriotic of the Democrats to put on a performance where they do that. I do. I think it's a bad thing for our country. Impeachment wasn't supposed to be used that way. All you have to do is read the transcripts. You'll see there was absolutely nothing done wrong. They had legal scholars looking at the transcripts the other day, and they say these are absolutely perfect. Trump is right when he uses the word. Those concepts, those calls that we made, 2 of them were absolutely perfect calls. And I think it's a very bad thing for our country. Does it cast a cloud? Well, if it does, then the Democrats have done a very great disservice to the country, which they have. They've wasted a lot of time. We're trying to get prescription drugs reduced very substantially. We could do it easily. They don't have any time to do anything. I call them the do-nothing Democrats. They are hurting our country very badly.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.